Whereas I think, well, all of our beliefs are, to the extent that we can make sense of them, in the public domain. I mean, they're subject matter. I don't mean they're truth, because of course different people believe different things, but their subject matter is in the public domain. Right? Their beliefs are about the same things that my beliefs are about. That's why we can disagree from time to time. And I think, I mean, that's the kind of thing that I was fighting against, the sort of total autonomy of belief. Consciousness, I have said nothing about, and that's only because when I try to think about it, I always bog down. I mean, I'm not sure what there is there to think about, and I don't think I'm throwing it out because I don't know what it is.
Well, I think you proceed as if you do know what it is. You know that it's something like the closest we can get to what the Cartesians thought it was, and you rightly say about that. It can't be foundational to knowledge, you know, the basic point of contact between thought and the world, that kind of thing, as the Cartesians thought it could.
Yes.
That's right. I mean, the consciousness as they conceived it couldn't be foundational to knowledge, couldn't be the basic point of contact between thought and the world. Just because they conceived it as such that your consciousness is the way it is anyway, kind of regardless. We can wring the changes on how things are in the real world that surrounds you, and your consciousness is still the way it is. That's hopeless, just because there's nothing in this picture of consciousness that's analogous to the relatedness of, say, words to things in interpretation of language in your picture, right? Okay, so I'm saying you don't actually proceed as if you don't know what consciousness is. You proceed as if you know that all that there is for consciousness to be is that, and that cannot be important in the way that the Cartesians think it is. And that second bit strikes me as dead right. That cannot be important in that way.
But what is it that I clearly understand about consciousness? I would love to know.
Well, that it's a fitting thing about which to say such things as episodes in consciousness cannot stand as foundations to knowledge, or cannot constitute the ultimate point of contact between thought and reality.
You mean such things as
I think you do talk about you know, what philosophers have wanted to mean by consciousness, and what you tend to do is give an inventory of ways in which Cartesian philosophers have talked about things. Sense data, sensations, the given, sensory stimulations. There are a whole bunch of conceptions of consciousness about which it's perfectly right to say the negative thing that you say about consciousness conceived as exhausted by that kind of list. But what I guess I don't find in these writings of yours that I'm thinking of, I guess the coherence theory paper is one of them. There are a lot of papers in which I think there's something somewhat on these lines said. What I don't find is a kind of willingness to suppose that there might be something else to do with the very idea of consciousness, in which that wouldn't be the right list to start in, right? By the given. No, the given is no good. You know, we see that. You're quite right about that. But how about your present visual consciousness of Rudy? That's an item that might be fitted to be part of the truth about your point of view, which is indeed in the public domain. I mean, I need to know a whole lot about you in order to know that. Rudy is visibly present to you.
I see that he's there. I see that he's there. That's, my eyes are playing an essential role in it. But the question in my mind is, do you think that if I say, I see that he's there, that is, I have as a result of having the kind of optical system I have and a lot of other things, I'm caused to believe that he's there, and furthermore I know that I'm seeing him. Is there, you think the baby has still been left out if I say that, and that's where I become mildly puzzled as to what that extra thing is. And you say, I show that I know what it is, but I didn't buy the exact form of words that you used, where you said a visual, or it's in your visual field, or what? How did you put it?
I can't remember now.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't artfully chosen wording.
Right. But the point is, it was chosen in order to enclose more than just using my eyes and knowing I'm using them. I am led to believe that Rudy is there, and furthermore that his knees are crossed and so forth. But there's more in your view, and I know this. Now we've reached at least one area where we have a difference, not in the sense that there's something that I understand and deny, but rather there's something that you think is there that I haven't mentioned, and I don't know what it is.
I agree. I mean, with that characterization of the stance that you take in your writings, I didn't mean to deny that when I said your posture in your writings is of someone who knows what consciousness is.
Right.
That is, someone who knows that. If consciousness is anything, it's what the Cartesians thought it was, except that they were wrong about its interest or
its
importance.
role. Right. Okay.
So that
and even its content.
So that the right thing to say about consciousness is the negative thing. It doesn't have the interest or importance that the Cartesians thought it does. And that's letting them have their specification of it. We might fix on the given. Right? What is consciousness? Well, it's the preconceptual given, or